Here from Marketing Food Online, and in this video I'm going to hop into your subscriber questions, so let's jump to it right now. And I'm going to jump into your subscriber questions here on Marketing Food Online, and welcome to my channel. If this is the first video you've ever seen, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you're looking to create a food business or become a food entrepreneur, I've got over 600 videos to help you understand how to get that done. And of course, I'm going to jump into your videos, so I'm going to look down at my laptop really quick. If you see me going back and forth, that's what I'm doing. All right, so the first question is, actually, it's going to be a handful of questions about cottage food business, starting a food business from home. And it's going to be a few different types of questions. This in particular one is about frozen dumplings that have chicken or have some type of a protein in it, chicken or meat, and you want to sell them at local grocery stores in Texas, specifically the state of Texas. So under the cottage food law in Texas, they don't allow for any type of food product production at home of products that could be what's known as potentially hazardous, or those that are time or temperature sensitive, which would be anything that's got like chicken or beef or fish or shrimp. Those types of things normally are not allowed under cottage food laws, not necessarily only in Texas, but pretty much across the board. Many states have, of course, their own cottage food laws, but most all of them will not allow you to prepare food products or like a dinner or a lunch or things that have those types of proteins in them, or potentially cheeses or things that are temperature or time sensitive. So that's what they see as potentially hazardous food products. The majority of the products are things like dried nuts, popcorn, snacks, things like cookies and baked goods and cakes and cupcakes and those types of things. Those are normally allowed, of course, under cottage food, but anything that's got that time or temperature sensitive, they don't. So unfortunately, you won't be able to do this from home, but if you want to create your dumplings in a commercial kitchen and then offer them to be sold either in some commercial setting, retail store, restaurant, or something like that, that's different. And that also, it requires a different type of licensing as well, permits and other types of items that are involved with that. So doing it from home with this type of product, unfortunately, no, you can't. I'll add a few additional also down in the description. I'll put some resources you guys can click on, and you can find out, read up a little bit more about it as well on your own time, and check those out as well. So the next one up was looking to create so if you're renting a commercial kitchen for non-baked goods, how does that work? Yes, of course you can. When you rent a commercial kitchen, it's going to be dependent upon what type of equipment you're going to need. Really quick to let you know, you're going to need a certain type of equipment for that product. Make sure that the commercial kitchen has it. Every commercial kitchen is not the same, and when you rent one out, they're going to have different types of equipment. Some of them will be better suited for baked goods. Some of them will be great for meal prep. If you're cooking chicken and fish and those types of things and you're making an actual meal, they'll have the type of equipment that would be better for that as well. So first off, figure out what type of actual product you want to make. Then you want to find a commercial kitchen that is suited for that particular product as far as production and making it. So every single one of them are not the same. They don't have the same type of cooking ovens and stoves. Some of them have walk-in coolers and freezers. Some of them don't have those types of setups. So finding the right commercial kitchen for your product is the most important factor for you to create the product. So if you're looking to do something, as you mentioned, that's non-baked good, yes, there definitely is. Commercial kitchens can be used for an assortment of different types of products. Caterers have a tendency to use them a lot as well when they prepare large meals and big buffets of food and spreads of food, because they'll have the ability to use all those different types of equipment to cook a variety of things. Could be dessert, could be a whole meal, could be salad prep, and then it could be like a meal that's actually cooked and fried or cooked that has to be kept warm. So all of those would be dependent upon the type of commercial kitchen. So can you use it for non-baked goods? Yes, you can. Definitely. Find one near you, and understand also when you factor in the cost of renting one, when you sell the product, you want to make sure that you're selling the product enough at a price point that you're going to make a profit to make your money back from renting the commercial kitchen. Okay? Yeah. So the next one up is, they had a question about food service. Okay, so this one was actually a question. I was just double checking to make sure I was reading it right. And this question came from a gentleman who wanted to create savory pies. They're actually vegetable style pies that he's obviously baking in some type of kitchen, and then looking to ship them. And actually vacuum seal them, is looking to figure a way to secure them. So number one, you want to keep in mind, if you create some type of a pie that has a vegetable or cheese and you're doing it from a a commercial kitchen, that would be fine. But keep in mind also the turnaround time, the shipping from transit time, and how to keep it cool and keeping the temperature to make sure that there's no potential bacteria or anything that could form from the time that you make it, pack it, seal it, and then ship it. There's a big span of window unless you're freezing it or you're selling it frozen. So this question was about how to secure it using a vacuum sealer of some kind for food. I actually did a video recently, and he was asking based on the video I did about shipping a pie. I personally wouldn't use vacuum bags because they have a tendency to squish the food and not necessarily secure the food. So I would recommend the method I used for the pie, putting a shrink wrap, food grade shrink wrap around the product, and then just simply shrink wrapping it. If you're doing pies that have vegetables or cheeses, if it's some type of a cheese pie that's got a vegetable in it, freeze it thoroughly, make sure it's thoroughly frozen, shrink wrap that, and then from there, put it with ice packs and then ship it out. That would be the best way to get it to its destination without it getting have the potential for bacteria during transit. So stay away from the vacuum sealing of foods of those types of pies or cookies, because the vacuum seal sucks out the air and it's going to be so tight and so strong, it's going to end up damaging the product itself. Even with the pies, you can end up damaging the crust and the outer part of the pie itself if you use a vacuum sealer. So shrink wrap is really the best way to go because it's not drawing any air out. It's simply just shrinking it and securing the product to the board or into the box. So next up, we've got another question in regards to the food truck. So what kind of a food truck what type of food truck insurance do I need if I start a food truck? So if you're starting a mobile food business, as they call them, the technical term, I guess, boiled down to being a food truck, yes, you should have a handful of different insurances, actually. You're going to need insurance for the actual physical truck itself, similar to an automobile insurance or commercial auto insurance policy. That's going to cover the truck itself. And then you're going to need, as a food business and a preparer of food products, food business liability insurance. Now, there's a lot of different ways that these policies can be written. If you get a food truck policy that covers the production of your food for its actual liability in regards to that, you can get it tacked on to and added to your auto insurance or the commercial policy itself. So between those two types of policies, you can actually get them kind of combined in a sense. Some insurance will do that, not all of them. But you want to make sure you have protection insurance to protect your business and separate the file when you file in papers of incorporation for your food truck as a business. Make sure it's separate from your personal. Normally, a lot of them are LLCs, which kind of limit the amount of liability that you have. But make sure you have a policy to cover your food and your food production and such. And you have a policy to cover the actual car or the truck or the unit itself. And sometimes that's written as a separate policy, which will cover the unit itself. So yes, you definitely want to make sure you get yourself insured, and you want to do that to protect yourself and cover yourself. So the next one I've got up is, all right, so how do I market, there it is, how do I market my homemade food business locally? Great question. So you want to start a food business from home, and you're creating a food product. Now, that is the first step of course, a lot of different steps to go. But how do you promote it, or how do you get the word out about it? Well, of course, you can always start word of mouth and start locally. I personally would recommend you create a social media page for your specific business, even if it's home-based. If it's a home-based business and you're hitting up a lot of the local farmers markets, or in your community, there may be a lot of fairs or festivals or those types of events, and your state allows you to sell there. As you go to those places, make sure you promote your social media pages between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And when you go to every event, make sure you take a lot of pictures and you engage with your customers and your customers who come up and buy the products from you. Taking pictures with them or asking them, hey, would you like to take a product picture sample? Would you give some feedback? Check out our social media page and let us know. Give us a review. So you can actually use and leverage social media even locally on a local small scale when you first start to get more word out about your food product. So as you attend these different events, make sure you spread the news. You have either flyers, business cards, any type of a brochure or promotional ad type of product that you can give a customer who can take it with them, because they may want to tell a friend about it. They may tell a family member. So you have to kind of hustle it locally and just go out there and begin to spread the word yourself. But social media is a great way to do that on a low budget, because you don't have to necessarily promote a website, because you're not selling online. You're just local. So having your customers go to your social media and your social media pages liking those pages, interacting, engaging. Make sure you put information up on your social media page. If you're on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, post every week or even every day if you can. Post more pictures about your products, more information about where they can be found, what's the next event you're going to be at. So if you're starting from home, as it looks like you were asking, definitely do that, but make sure that you start promoting the moment that you get a chance to. Create some type of social media presence, be online somewhere. That's going to give more word of mouth and allow it to spread even faster, especially when you're working local and kind of small and you're just getting started. Always think big, but take small steps to get to that big idea. So try that out and let me know. And if you guys got any other questions, definitely let me know down below in the descriptions or in the comments area, and I'll jump on them and try to make a video as soon as I can and get a response to them. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.